Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. So today I am mixing up my own paints for pouring. I have that white paint that you just saw from Target, and I put 1 ounce of it in each of those two cups that are closest to us at the moment. And I am going to mix up, I originally was going to mix up 3 colors, one being plain white, one being this phthalo blue. And believe it or not, that is not the only time that happens with the paint coming out of the tube. It was like every time I went to fold up the end of the tube to try to push the paint down to the bottom, it just came out, and I was not expecting that. So I was gonna make told you, plain white, phthalo blue, and then a mixture of white and the phthalo blue. So I would have a lighter blue color, and you'll see it in a little while. I ended up mixing up a metallic light green, almost like a teal. You'll see in a little bit, and that really did add some nice contrast. My inspiration for the colors was the colors where I work. It's kind of our logo. It's not, the colors aren't exact, but that was kind of what my inspiration was. So for these paints, I am doing 1 part paint, 3 parts Floetrol, and then approximately 1 part water. Now I'm being extra careful with that paint. The workspace I am working on is dried. It's leftover purple and orange paint from the Baltimore Ravens and Orioles pour that I did about a week ago or so now. And it was still clean enough for me to reuse. So here you'll just see me adding the 3 parts Floetrol and approximately 1 part water, and mixing the paints. And so, as I often do, I'm using a repurposed canvas that, again, I almost threw this one away because I had done an experiment with epoxy and alcohol ink and paint all on one canvas, and it just did not turn out well. But it was completely dried. So what I did was I sanded it down, cleaned it off with just isopropyl alcohol, and then spray painted it with, this is the last color of spray paint that I have left in my garage. It's like a metallic, silver. Let that dry for just a little while. And then now I am putting my regular old push pins into the corners and middle. And I have popsicle sticks that I've broken into pieces because I know that my table is not perfectly level, so I'm just sticking those popsicle sticks, broken ones, underneath the push pins to help level out the canvas. Okay, so I decided to do half white and then half of the lighter blue. And then I decided I was going to use the hairdryer method. I haven't done it in about a month or so, and I don't know, I was just ready to try it again. None of these paints have silicone oil or any kind of oil in them, and the cell action that I got, I'm pretty sure it's from the paints being on the thinner side. I was just absolutely thrilled. So I realized at first I made the squiggle in the middle a little too pronounced, so I do end up fixing that. Okay, so I'm just tilting the canvas to make sure it's evenly covered and that the middle is well joined together. Alright, so I am starting with the phthalo blue right down the middle. I knew I wanted a decent amount of it for contrast. Also, this is a 16 by 20 inch canvas. It's pretty big. So, alright, and then here's that metallic greenish teal. I knew I didn't want as much of that. So I knew I wanted a couple of what I would call branches off, and it just took me a little bit to decide exactly where I wanted them. Because once you decide, you just kind of have to commit. There's really no going back. All right, and I'm just going to layer the paints up the way that I did before, and then I will be adding some silver on top, and it's straight from the bottle. I'll show you the bottle. It's called Silver Dollar, and because it's a metallic, it I think helped with creating some of the cells. All right, and now for the fun part. I prefer not to count how many times I let my hairdryer hit the paint, but it did happen quite a few times. Not really in the beginning, but as I got further up the canvas, closer to our bottom left corner at the moment. So I knew I kind of wanted to go, you know, in little diagonal spurts as far as the paint would stretch. And I have my hairdryer, I have that attachment on the end that kind of creates that linear shape, if you will. And I kind of rotate the hairdryer, you know, with the position either straight up and down or more parallel to the canvas. It just depended on a lot of things, you know, where the weight of the paint was, what direction I wanted it to go. But the most important thing is I have it on a low setting, and I am holding down the cooling feature. It's an extra button that you just, for this model, have to hold down. So it's actually cool air. It's not hot air. If you use hot air, it will dry your paint faster and make it harder to work with, harder to move. And I'm also, notice I'm holding it upside down. And I think right there, yeah. I scraped the hairdryer on the canvas. So I just added a little bit more paint back. So I'll just let you watch as I continue to, make adjustments and just continue to blow dry the paint until I'm happy with it. So now I am just taking a straw. I'm in the upper left-hand corner. Well, I was. You'll see it again shortly. And I am just using my breath to push any of the harsh edges that I couldn't really get to flow with the blow dryer. All right, so I'm just giving it a good torch to get any of the air bubbles out. And I was just very happy with this. Not exactly sure what to call it, but yeah, I think the cells are just absolutely gorgeous. Take you in for a close-up. That there's probably one of my favorite spots where that giant cluster of cells is. I just love it. So, what do you think I should call this? Just love it. Was not expecting the cells to turn out that well. I just love the different shades of green and blue and white, and yeah, it's just beautiful. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.